Hi, I'm Dr. Knapp, and I just wanted to say hello, and I also wanted to give you a little bit of an overview about how this course is structured on Canvas. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen, and I'm going to set this so that it looks like what it will look like for you all, and hopefully I won't find any broken links. I've tried to make sure the first couple of sections are all set up. You're probably familiar with how Canvas courses work, and so you know that you can have a to-do list on the side that's going to show you upcoming items. Now, what appears here is only going to be the items that have a due date attached, and I'm trying to attach due dates to each item, but occasionally something slips through. So make sure that you are reading through all of the assignments carefully to make sure that you have completed them. The first thing you're going to find is the Canvas overview. I like to call this kind of a bloated syllabus, and it's really a reference for you to come back and find specific information or answers to questions. But there are a few that have due dates on them, like this first one, Welcome to the First Day of Class. I'd like you to read through those to make sure that we're all on the same page about expectations and what you need to do. Um, you will be able to find the syllabus by clicking on the syllabus over here on the left-hand side, or if you are on your mobile device, it might be in a different location. I don't think there is right now a link for the syllabus in here, but there will be one first thing I need to fix. All right, so most of the modules are going to be numbered according to the chapters, but there are a few things that I want you to do just to kind of get started to make sure you know the expectations for the course and how to submit things and where to go for items. So this module, very short, is what I'm expecting for the first day or two of class, June 4th and 5th. And so there'll be a link to this video here under Canvas Tour. And then you will also have a couple of assignments, just briefly introducing yourselves, uploading a file so that you know how to do that, because many of your assignments will be uploaded files. And then there's some links to some common things that will be throughout the semester. You will also see on here a concept pretest. One of the things that the college asks us to assess is whether or not in your courses, your general education courses, you're actually learning something. And so this is a pretest. I don't expect anybody to do super well on it unless you are taking this in spite of having had some really great chemistry classes in high school that you just didn't get credit for. So don't worry about whether or not you get the answers right or wrong there. You get credit just for completing the pretest there. I would like you to make sure that you complete it. So if you leave it blank, you're not going to get credit. Make sure you complete those. At the end of the course, you will do the test again, and then hopefully everybody's scores will have gone up and we can see that taking this class is useful. So this getting started module should really only take you a day at the most. It also has places a link for you to purchase your textbook. You should be able to get the updated version of the textbook by the time that you start the course, but if there's been delays in them offering the online text, edition number 10, which was previously available, is perfectly fine. Just whatever online text is there is fine. All right. So for each module, and there are 6 of them for the 6 chapters that we're going to be going through, you will have a module overview. And then underneath the overview are going to be listed the major assignments that you've turned in. I'm trying to list all of them. Sometimes I miss one. So make sure that you are reading the overview. This is going to tell you the order to do them, and it's going to provide links for some added help. Now, most of you have had either chemistry or physical science class in high school. So this first chapter is really going to include some things that may be review for some people. But if you're finding it's material you're not familiar with, that's where that added material may be helpful for you. So let's take a look at this overview. The first thing is that it's going to have a to-do date. That's when I want you to start the module. That's not when you have to complete everything in the module. You will also see the goals for the unit or the chapter. There are going to be some chemistry related things, but because of the way the book is designed, there's also going to be some contextual things. So each chapter is revolving around a theme. And our first chapter is around portable devices like phones and tablets. And so most of what I'm concerned with is the chemistry, but there are sometimes things that I think are important for you to appreciate about the context in which things happen. And those will be listed underneath the contextual concepts. So this is your go-to for when you want to know, what should I prepare for the exam? Go back to this and make sure you know these things. Underneath, you will see things that say, do this. Anything under do this is your assignment. Most of those items are things that are graded. Sometimes I will offer some suggestions as you can do this to practice or to learn about a particular item. So each chapter you will have an opening video. It's going to be 2 or 3 minutes that just introduces the context of the chapter. In this case, touch devices like your smartphone. And then you will also have a reflect assignment. And this should be the same as the reflect question that is in the beginning of your chapter, or very similar to it. So I just ask you to respond to that just to kind of get your brain warmed up to what is the topic at hand. Those will generally be due on the same day that you are supposed to start the module. Shouldn't take you too long to do them, so just get them out of the way. Then you will also have a vocabulary assignment for that chapter. So I've pulled the vocabulary from the book as items that are going to be important for your understanding the concepts that are going on. The idea here is that in writing out the terms, you can learn more about them and be prepared for when you see them in the context. Or if you are reading them in the book and you don't remember what you wrote for the vocabulary, you have something you can refer back to in order to determine what those are. They do not need to be handwritten. Typed is fine. Handwriting helps you to learn it better. Using your own words helps you to learn it better, but I'm not going to be spending the time to make sure that everything you write is completely different from the textbook or whatever. So as long as you can understand it and use it to study, that's the purpose of the assignment. So those will be due at the beginning of each chapter. Now, sometimes I will make a video or use a video from when I've taught this material during the regular year, and I will post that so that you can hear somebody talking about the concepts. You should be able to find everything in the book, but if you're not somebody who really learns by reading, you'll see this little icon here. It's like a TV screen or computer screen. That indicates that there's a link to a video that I've made, which is covering most of the content in a particular section, maybe not the whole chapter, but goes through it verbally as well, and that may help with your understanding. So in the first chapter, there are several things that are not required, like this activity on the states of matter. If you feel like you've got down the difference between the states of matter, you don't need to do it. But if it's something you're not really understanding the questions that you see, come back and practice it. So as you scroll through, you're going to see the do this, do this, do this, and then you will get to a break. So I'll usually list the items that are going to be graded items so that you'll see again, those are things that you need to do. And then I may also offer additional resources. So there might be a link to a quiz that you can practice. So these are practicing different things. Or there may be links outside of Canvas that are to videos or to websites that I think may be useful. So this is just going to cover the first few sections. Then you're going to have the next do this. In my mind, each do this section is basically 1 day of the summer course. Roughly. Sometimes I have assignments that I want you to start on 1 day, but I know it may require a little bit of thinking or conversation, in which case it might be assigned 1 day, but it's not due until a couple of days later, rather than having it be due on the date in this section. So you'll see different things in this section as opposed to the last sections. You will also see at the end of the chapter a link for videos. So for each chapter, you are going to have a selection of 6 to 8 videos, or sometimes they might be podcasts or a TV show episode, and you will answer questions about them. They will relate back to the original theme. So they might be specifically the theme that is the context, or it might be the chemistry topic. So in here we have videos about the periodic table, but we also have videos about smartphones. So a little bit of each. There are quizzes for each of those. And what you need to do is for 4 of the videos, have 80% or higher on that quiz. If you get 80% or higher, even if it's exactly 80%, you'll get full credit for the videos. So the grade that is in Canvas for the individual quiz doesn't get applied to your overall grade. It's when I go back and check, did you take the quiz for those videos? And it's either yes or no. You get 5 points because you watched it, or 0 points because you didn't answer all the questions or 80% of the questions correctly. If there is a podcast, like you'll see here, the podcast Who's Utopia, that one, because it's longer, instead of being 10 minutes, it's closer to an hour. You can get double points for that one. So if you're somebody who likes podcasts and you find those kinds of things interesting, then you can respond to those and not have to watch as many videos. Sometimes I'll have links to some pages that just describe things in more detail. It's not a particular assignment, but it can give you some more information. So you'll see cross-cutting themes. These are ideas that maybe show up again and again in this course, but also going to apply to your other science courses. So you will see themes like scales and models, both in chemistry and in biology, and in fact, in other places. We're also going to be focusing on graphs, tables, and charts, and all areas of sciences will use those kinds of things. So if you want more information on what cross-cutting themes might be applied, that's where you'll find them. Then at the end of each module, you should see where you're going to be going next. And they basically go in order until we get to the end of chapter 5. Then we skip and go to chapter 9. So it will tell you where you're going and what date you want to have that done by. You can, while you are on here, also see your assignments that are coming up listed. And so they should be listed by their due date. And the ones that don't have dates are going to be down here. So you might want to check in the undated assignments. Of course, I haven't assigned dates on all of these yet, just to make sure you didn't miss something that it sounds like it's from there. You can also change to the type. So if I change it to type, this is my grading categories. Anything that's an involvement is mostly participation. Sometimes it's just, did you do it or not do it? Sometimes it's 80% of your points are participation and a little bit is how correct you are or how much effort you put into it. And so things like discussions will fall in here. You'll see a lot of the discussions, but sometimes it's just your reflex or quick responses to things. Your formative assignments are the ones that are more getting into the nitty-gritty skills. It's either demonstrating that you've learned a skill or practice doing that skill. And then the credit that I give you for the videos are listed separately, and that's going to be one portion of your grade. So those are the big categories, and then you will also have your category that is going to be for your exams. Now you will see in the assignments the videos listed, so each is a quiz, but if you'll notice over here on the upper right hand corner, it's worth 0% of your overall grade, so it's not impacting the score. So if you take a video and you get a 2 out of 10 on it and you're like, I didn't even really like that topic, I'm not going to go back and do it, it's not impacting your grade. Just do a different one. Or if you want to repeat that one and get a better score, you can do that as well. You will also see some items that say try this. These are bonus items and they will be incorporated at the end of the semester. So you can see that if I move my little video here, you can see that is also 0% of your grade on Canvas. But at the end of the semester, if you're very close to the next letter grade, then I'll go and see how many of these try this assignments you've completed. All right, so that kind of takes you through those modules. The next thing you need to know is that after 2 of the modules or 2 of the chapters, then what you're going to need to do is take the exam. And I haven't set this one up yet, but what will happen is that when you are ready to take the exam, there are going to be certain prerequisites, and you won't be able to take that exam until you've done those things from the previous chapters. And generally that's going to be things like, did you turn in your vocabulary assignment, and did you complete the formative assignments from that chapter? So don't wait until the exam day to try and do everything and think, oh, I'm just going to complete my exam and then I'll go back and do the work, because you'll need to complete the work before you take the exam in order for that to happen. All right, so I think that gives you a pretty good overview. You should know that within some of your assignments, I use a rubric. And so once those things are graded, you should see some lines to the side that will tell you what the grading was on the rubric, and will give you feedback on why I maybe took off some points. So that's something you can look at. You can also pay attention to the files here if you want to look up individual things. So for each chapter, you're going to do guided notes, and there will be a link within that assignment to the guided notes for that chapter. So you can see that here. When you have assignments that I have typed up, one of the things you can do is just download the file to computer, type in your responses, and upload your changed information. Please put your name as part of that. Otherwise, I end up with a whole bunch of people that have Chapter 1 guided notes as the file name, and those things get confused. So it's a lot easier for me to grade if your name is attached to it. If you want, sometimes you're going to need to draw something, or you're going to need to put a diagram of something that it's not easy to type out, maybe writing a chemical equation and you're putting arrows, or you're doing superscripts or things like that. So anything that's handwritten, you're going to scan and upload. And there's a link in several different places to show you how you can do that. I prefer scans over photos. Photos do not show up very well on the screen. Sometimes the files do not appear on my computer. I don't have a Mac, so sometimes Mac photos don't, or iPhone photos don't show up on my computer. And a lot of times if you're taking a picture, you've got so much stuff in the background, or it's dark and I can't see what's on the page. So if I can't read what is written, then you're going to lose all of your points on your guided notes. Now, generally, if that happens, I'll let you upload them again, but it's a lot easier if you just scan them, which you can do from your phone. Just take it to a well-lit area, scan it from up above, and upload that file, and that will make it a lot easier to read. It's only going to have in the area the paper, and it will make anything that is on that paper crisper and easier to read. What I have done is that since you have guided notes for each chapter, I'm going to go back to files here. I have a zip file in here, and if you want to just take care of this all at once, this zipped file that says guided notes and handouts has all of the guided notes and a couple of the handouts that you would need to write or color on included in it. And so if you don't have a printer at home and you want to go to the public library and print everything out, or you just want everything printed at once, that's where you want to go, print all of those things. I don't guarantee that I've gotten everything that needs to be printed in there, but I've got as many things as I can think of in there. So that's our tour of Canvas. Hopefully that is helpful for you. And if you have questions about what you need to do or where to find links for assignments, please just let me know. I can either email you a response, or sometimes I might say, hey, can we meet over Zoom? Because it's easier for me to just pull up a screen share and illustrate on the screen how to do that. All right, good luck to you, and hope to hear from you all soon.